Ready? Mark. Greetings and welcome back to my gaming library. Top 10 RTSs for number 5. Well, it's hard to make top 10 RTSs without mentioning Command and Conquer in some regard. This is made by Westwood Studio. The Command and Conquer series was original made by them and later taken over by EA. Westwood Studio are probably also known for making Dune on top of this. They also made a few other games, but when it comes to the RTS, they made Dune and they made Command and Conquer. The Dune games from Dune 2, 2000 and Emperor, and they made the Command and Conquer games up to at least Red Alert 2. And in my opinion, Red Alert 2 is the best of the traditional Command and Conquer games. Let's have a little look in game while I talk a little bit more of this series. Once I've set up a quick match here, I'm just gonna go this with an easy opponent. I can beat this guy pretty fast, just to mix it up a bit. And I became the British instead. Just paused for a moment to crash there. Anyway, back on track.
New construction options.
Command and Conquer is a pretty fast-paced game in general. Most of them are.
Construction complete. Building. New construction options.
Which is also why I'm playing against an easy opponent, so I can do a little bit explaining without having to focus too much on speed. The Command and Conquer games are divided into more or less 3 verses. I'm mainly gonna focus on the Westwood's versus. It's not too much about general. The 2 verses that Westwood created was, well, the Red Alert, which takes place original. I think it's in the 60s or something like that. But anyway, the main point of it is Albert Einstein traveled back in time and erased Hitler. So instead of the Second World War, the Allies enters a war with the Soviet. So that's the main premise of the Red Alert verse. The other verse, the Tiberian verse, which there has been hinted at that they could be combined, although they are moving further away from each other with the EA's intervention.
Construction complete.
Take place
Construction options.
on
Building.
takes place. Well, I think actually it takes place
Construction complete.
well now in the past, but then when they created it in the future, of course. And it's about the Earth has been hit by a meteor containing this strange mineral called Tiberian, which is quite useful. It can be used to create a lot of different minerals.
Building.
And a terrorist organization called
Construction complete.
NOD,
Unit ready. New construction options.
led by a strange figure called Kane,
Unit ready.
are trying to basically exploit this and are fighting the Global Defense Initiates.
Unit ready.
And it's then the war between NOD and GDI,
Iron curtain detected.
and I'm against some Russians. I can see some pink Russians.
Unit
Anyway,
ready.
when it comes to this game, I will definitely recommend the
Unit ready.
first 6 Command and Conquer games are worth playing, with this one being the 4th.
Unit ready.
Now, when it comes to the games, I can quickly go through why I've chosen Red Alert 2 as the one to represent the Command and Conquer series here.
Ready.
I'll just add some prison tanks and some
Unit ready.
Now, the reason why I've chosen the Red Alert 2, well, first of all, let's just compare it to the other Red Alerts.
Unit ready.
The third one,
Unit ready.
well, basically isn't very good. First of all, the campaign relies
Insufficient funds.
upon a co-op system, which, if you're playing it solo, you have to play with a dumb AI. That's not always good. I had experience that the AI built.
Securing position.
Well, now I don't need this.
Construction complete.
Oh, I'll build it anyway.
Unit ready.
I had experience that the AI was building ship in a map where it was
Nuclear
only
silo detected.
possible
Warning,
to
ion
attack.
curtain activated. Our base is under attack.
Screw you guys.
Repairing.
Better do something so I don't get destroyed by these guys.
Building.
That's not nice.
Unit lost.
Bound forward.
Anyway, where they built ship in a mission where it was only possible to detect the enemy via land, so not too great of it. Quite a tactical blunder.
Unit promoted.
And in general, the game are still trying to be fast-paced, but they also add a
Unit lost.
individual management to each unit with a special ability. So not only do you need to quickly order your units to attack things and so on, you also have to keep a track on which one, which abilities to use against what. So it's a little too fast-paced for its own good.
Construction options.
Now, the reason why Red Alert 1 isn't on it, well, General Red Alert 2 is just a better game. Still, it's really, it's a good game. It might not have aged so well as
Unit lost.
one wanted. Even this one doesn't really have an attack move command, for example, which is one of the things that dragged it a bit down.
Unit promoted.
Difference between the Red Alert and
Insufficient funds.
the Superior universe is that the Red Alert universe is often a little more, how should I put it, weird when it comes to its special abilities. For example, the allies here have a weather control device that allow them to control weather and send storms against the enemy.
Promoted. Construction complete.
It has a bit a little more
Lost.
strange, fun
Unit promoted.
sci-fi themes when it comes to these. Well,
Building.
Ready to roll.
not the Siberian verse have a few interesting things like
Ready to roll. Driver up.
Unit ready. Unit promoted.
now a bit like Obelisk, which is basically a giant laser. To say this is a very fast-paced game, and especially when I'm fighting an easy opponent, which I can just blast through. But anyway, when it comes to the game, well, the Tiberian games, which have 4. First of all, the 4th one sucks. It's the worst Command and Conquer game I've played. They really didn't think that through. First of all, it used an online activation, and not only that, it used kind of a player upgrade. Instead of when you go through the campaign you unlock units runningly, here when you did something you unlocked some units. So if you play the skirmish, you could actually have the best unit, or best of it, you have the strongest unit in the start of the game by just playing enough skirmish in the start of the campaign. Is a little bit weird system they have decided to put in there. Didn't work too well. Beside of that, well, Command and Conquer 1, Tiberian Dawn, basically suffers from the same as Red Alert. They are so similar, the two games, in the way they play so on. They are a little bit dated. And when it comes to Tiberian Sun, it's more or less just a preference. I prefer Red Alert 2 over that. Tiberian Wars also is pretty good and well worth the play. But all in all, I prefer Red Alert 2. That has some. It also have a nice, long, meaty campaign to really delve into, and it has a pretty good expansion pack. And that's all I have to say about Red Alert 2.